Hi, I'm Sesson Durgam from Rio Grande's technical support team. I'm here with Phil Poirier, master goldsmith, silversmith, and Bonny Doon toolmaker. And what are you going to tell us about, Phil?
Well, what you got there is a bracelet we just made. This is one of my designs that I make several of for the galleries. It's a pierced design. Now this is about 12 gauge sterling silver. It's been pierced with a lattice-work form.
It's awesome.
But to form it up into this anticlastic is pretty tough. And every time you try to do this with a rawhide mallet or a plastic mallet, it's going to fail. You're going to mar it up, it's going to dent, and it's just not going to be right.
Ruin all that work.
Yeah. So what I brought today was the anticlastic bracelet forming kit for the press. So that consists of a pair of dies. You notice a large and a small. The curvature, the radius across the top here on both of them are identical. The large one is used just for bangles or for cuffs. Now when you do a cuff bracelet, as I'm going to show today, you also use the small one. So again, the matched pair. So we'll start with the large one. I'm going to put it up here in the press. A pair of magnets will hold it in position so you have a quick change between the two. And notice we have a red block of plastic here. That's actually polyurethane, and it's 95 durometer, very, very hard. As you can see, if you try to put your thumbnail into that,
it's like a brick.
It's pretty hard. But it's soft enough not to mar the metal, and it's hard enough to form the metal. So you're going to see this just change shape, and it'll bounce right back to this shape. And here's a piece of blank. We're still flat here. I just started to do a little bit of forming right here. So I'm going to put this in the press, and it's a lot of eye-hand coordination here. So this is not a push a button, get a finished bracelet.
Right.
This is all about eye-hand coordination and working it up slowly.
So you're still using your metalsmithing techniques to form, eyeballing it and forming
Exactly. Yeah, and you're forming it to your needs, to your curvatures. So I'm going to line it up on the same axis here, and I'm going to be looking at it this way and this way. And there we go. So I'll give it a push here. You'll notice it forming up. And did you notice how hard or how far I went into the polyurethane? About halfway, no more than that. And again, I'm watching it and I'm listening to it. I'm not paying attention to the gauge on the press. And notice when I'm moving it, I'm trying to stay on the die. I'm not pushing it into it this way.
Stay right on there.
You want to just roll it, radially. Just roll it on the die. And a little more. Okay, so now what we'll see is we have our main shape. This is what the large die will produce, and that's for that curvature over the top of your wrist. Now we've got to bring in this area here and this area here. So we have the smaller die, exactly. So the smaller die will come in and form this area and that area.
Just like you would on an anvil, you'd move up, slide up the anvil to get the smaller radius.
To a smaller radius, exactly. So we'll pop that one out, pop this one in, and I will use a lot of force right in here. A little bit less force here, a little bit less force there, and very little bit right there.
Wow.
So I'm blending, the two cool.
12 gauge, and you're not going to have to anneal?
I won't anneal. No,
wow.
No. This will form it without problem. Done 1/8 inch thick titanium, and it'll form this without any problem. So again, remember how hard this is. And the beauty is, if you look at that, there's no marring.
No marring.
Right?
That's awesome.
happy with that. There's that
nice.
curvature, right? And now I'm going to bring the other side in. Flip that around.
I noticed you're totally focused. I mean, it's not like a machine just makes it for you.
No, you want
you're
to
focusing
You
on
want
it.
to spend your time just
Wow.
like you were hammering.
Hammering, yeah.
Except you're hammering with a
Awesome.
20-ton press. It's looking pretty darn close right now.
Nice
So
shape.
we've got a nice
Yeah.
shape here.
Yeah.
I could probably pop that just a little bit more right in that location. Yeah, just a real light touch like right about there. And that's all it takes. Yeah, there we go. So we have a nice shape. And again, for this particular design and pattern, it's so fragile. If I were to try to do this with a hammer or a
Yeah.
mallet, I'd be damaging it. And that only took a few minutes.
Right.
Now I'm ready to give it a little, final cleanup. And
That took you maybe 10 minutes. What if I had a manual press? I didn't have the electric press at home. What,
good question. It might take a little bit longer, maybe 15 minutes. It really doesn't take that much longer. You're not wanting or having to lower the lower platen very far. You just lower it a little bit, pump it back up, move it. So it doesn't take all that much longer. The manual will give you a little bit more control.
more control. Hey, Phil, I think it fits.
I don't think you're going to go
Oh,
home
come
with that.
on. Okay, here.
Anyway, I hope that helps with your
Wow.
bracelet forming. And
That's awesome.
yeah,
Well, thank you, Phil.
you bet. You bet.
And thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to call us at 1-800-545-6566. Check us out online at riogrande.com.